Pal. I'm E.
I'm D.
And today we'll be discussing episode 4 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's called In a Pickle. And I don't know, there was a lot of pickles and a lot of fights. And I don't even know. This is getting nasty, guys. D, let us know what's up.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, we are 4 episodes into season 8 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And so part of the recap here, or most of the recap here, is going to be from a Yahoo article because y'all watching it and trying to write notes, it's really hard. Anyway, so these storylines are all over the place. The cast is majorly divided, with Candace Dillard Bassett and Dr. Wendy Osefo on one side and pretty much everyone else on the other. Either way, Candace has been MIA because of her 9-city tour, and Karen Huger has a hunch that the group is trying to ice her out. Ashley Darby introduced a bizarre rumor about Dr. Wendy's family being part of a shunned and outcast group of Nigerians. Meanwhile, Nneka Ahim, the newest Nigerian housewife, was convinced by her cousin-in-law that Dr. Wendy's mom put a hex on her. Yep, we're going there. So the word on the street was that it was a retaliatory curse for Nneka using Wendy's name to get on Real Housewives of Potomac. It's a Nigerian on Nigerian beef that has sent social media into an uproar. Whether you're on team Dr. Wendy and Candace, or team everyone else, the one thing that everyone can agree on is pickleball. So it's the sensation sweeping the nation, and thanks to the Grand Dame, it's arrived in Potomac. So, on Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 4, the ladies gathered for a pickleball party, and for the first time all season, every single cast member gathered under one roof, which had a fiery outcome. Here is what went down. Nneka and Wendy have shared approximately 5 seconds of screen time together, yet their relationship continues to get more and more complicated. In this episode, it was about the husbands. So, I'm going to give you the brief rundown here about this, and we'll discuss. Outside of the whole cousin-in-law connection, Nneka explained that her husband, Dr. Ikenna Ike Ihim, also knows Eddie Osefo. They're both University of Maryland alums. They were even Facebook friends until Wendy's mother allegedly submitted Nneka's name to her shrine. Nneka said that right after Wendy's prayer warriors started coming after her, Eddie suddenly unfriended Ike from Facebook. Was it a coincidence, or is there something fishy going on here? So, luckily, Nneka and Ike scored an invitation to the Grand Dame's Pickleball Spectacular, so they'll have the opportunity to clear these issues up with their fellow Nigerian power couple, which we'll talk about later. But before we get into the rest of Pickleball, what in the heck is going on here?
I don't know how it got so serious so fast.
So fast.
For people that don't know each other, they know each other a lot. And I don't know if you're going to discuss it later or now. Nneka's husband, he was ready to nuck if you buck.
Yeah.
Unhappy Eddie. Eddie was like, what? First of all, are we like 12? Like, who unfollowed who? And how do you know when you were unfollowed? Like, did you take screenshots of stuff? Like, I don't even understand. Like, sometimes these conversations seem so childish. It's like, well, you said this on social media and blah, blah, blah. And you did that. And you sent this text and you left this person out and you unfriended me. How old are we? You guys, the Grand Dame, I'm not saying it to be ageist or anything. The Grand Dame is over there, triple 20. Giselle Bryant, she's in her 50s. I think Robin is in her 40s. We got a couple 30-year-olds. Ashley, Candace, Mia, questionable. Mia. Nneka, I don't know if she's in her 30s or in her 40s. She's already contradicting herself. Because she said, well, this is a later episode. Guys, this is hard to keep up, okay? I'm trying to not tell you too much. But in the later episode, she's like, in my 40 years of life. And I'm like, wait a minute. How old are you, girl? Because you said 30s here. And I wasn't even trying to fact check you. It was just like a stark thing that like popped up. Point is, I don't understand this beef. They went too hard, too fast.
Oh yeah.
Why is everybody against Wendy? At this point, I don't even know. Like, did they really want to bring in Nneka to be against Wendy? Like, why? Like, Wendy has enough enemies
She
in the
does.
show. Why add
Really
another one? At this point, like we said in the previous episode, this is bullying. I feel everybody's against Wendy, and then Candace. I feel
does.
sometimes as well.
Yeah. So, okay,
There's a lot.
I going back to a point you made about how old are we here. I know plenty of adults in real life that are still doing the same thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I know plenty of adults that are still, so it does not matter your age group.
That's
There's people that know whether they're unfollowed or not on social media.
so silly.
Listen, it might not matter to me or you, but to some people it does, and they know these things. I don't know how.
But if you're
And
so
the fact that,
irrelevant in my life, then why do I care if you're following me or not? Like,
see,
is
I
that
feel
the point?
I feel like it's a part of, it's just a part of like people utilize social media every single day. We all do. So I think for some people they're just way more into it, and so they'll notice these things. Like me personally, I can't tell you who all follows me or doesn't. I know about 10 people that for sure follow me. And that's because it's the same 10 people that I'm exchanging memes with. And actually, that might just be about 6. The same 6 people. Outside of that, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. And so the fact that they may know this, who, I don't know, maybe they're just more into like social media like that. I don't know. I don't understand like what the issue is with having another Nigerian housewife on there. My understanding is Nneka just moved to Potomac. She was living in California. And her husband are newlyweds. They've been together for a year. So I don't really think like that should have been like a big issue unless it was a way to kind of move Wendy out. Like,
Mm.
could she have felt that they were trying to, which would not make sense because Wendy's a fan favorite from what I've read. So it would be like, what would why do that? Um or could it be that production, considering what was discussed during the previous reunion about colorism, did they think that bringing on an antithesis to Wendy, who was of the same skin tone as Wendy, would help balance things out with the Green Eye Bandits and all the other lighter skinned women?
Mm.
Like could that be a part of production, right? Because let's face it, production is the big bad. It's not the women, it's production. Production is making these things happen in a certain way. Production reached out to Nneka. So why? Like what would be the point? What would be the point?
That's a great point because it's diffusing the whole colorism thing. It's like, well, we
Yeah.
have more dark skinned women on the
Yeah.
show now, and yeah, the balancing of the scales, I guess.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that this person is beefing with Wendy.
Right.
It's
Well,
another person. Now it's Giselle. Now it's Mia. Now it's Robin. You
yeah.
know, now it's Nneka.
Yeah. And Mia really, I feel like Mia really isn't necessarily the one trying to beef with Wendy. I feel like Mia is kind of like Ashley, like she'll fight with you, but then she'll be cool with you 2 seconds later. But then, but then you have Giselle and you have Robin, and so I feel like that kind of like dynamic, I guess, because of the whole colorism issue that was discussed. Maybe that is a part of it. Because look what happened in the last episode 3. It ended with a solo lunch between Robin and Nneka. Why? Since when does Robin get solo lunches with any of the new ladies? That was a little bit odd, you know?
Yeah.
And so it kind of felt like that was a way to get her into the Green Eyed Bandit circle. And it's like, all just kind of like a
Stage.
whole stage situation to once again have this like Candace and Wendy versus everybody situation, but now you can't call it colorism because we have Nneka that's also on the other side, you know? So I don't know.
Well, we could also say that Robin took the initiative to be friends with Nneka because everybody's picking on her this season. Even
Picking on
Giselle.
Robin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
okay.
with her friend intervention. So
Yeah.
he's the main topic of this whole season with Juan and his dumbassness. So who's new? Nneka. So, she doesn't know much. I'll tell her my narrative,
Yeah.
Of course, Nneka's trying to fit in. So what does she
Right.
say in theory? Because she's beefing with Wendy over there. So
Right.
I can see Robin doing it as a self-help kind of thing. Have an ally that
Well,
doesn't do much.
that'd be interesting. Which brings us to our next section here, because elsewhere in the DMV, Giselle and Robin dealt with some of the awkward energy in their friendship. The two of them met up for lunch, and we learned that an uncomfortable situation went down between Giselle and Juan Dixon. Now, it wasn't quite on the same level as what allegedly went down between Giselle and Chris Bassett last year, but here we are again, and Giselle is lodging accusations about someone's husband. Giselle explained that she was not happy with Juan for running around Baltimore and embarrassing Robin at hotels, laundromats, and nail salons. Juan barely participates in the Real Housewives of Potomac, so it's hard. How hard is it for him to stay out of the headlines too? Giselle said that she had a chance to talk to Juan about everything that was going on with him, and in response, he yelled at her. Quote, "He kind of came for me," Giselle told Robin. "He was talking loud." Apparently, Juan was adamant that he didn't cross any lines during any of his viral rendezvous with various women. Giselle didn't take too kindly to being yelled at by Juan, but she also wanted to stand up for her friends. So Robin found herself in the middle of her best friend and her husband. Robin blamed Juan's elevated tone on the fact that he's a former basketball coach. She said he just can't hear anything after years of being on the court, so he's always loud. Okay. So Robin's ability to come up with excuses for every single aspect of the behavior of her husband, Juan, is quite impressive. Obviously, the Green-Eyed Bandits are stronger together than they are apart, and Giselle said she didn't want any of this to impact her relationship with Robin, so as long as Juan behaves himself, these two should be all good. But it's noteworthy that we're seeing Giselle and Robin have a bit of a disagreement here. And I mean, really, has this ever happened in, prior seasons of Potomac? This is why I'm saying, like, there's a weird thing going on this season. And I think that a lot of it comes from, like, production. I honestly, I believe production is behind a lot of this stuff, because I think that, like, something that I think you may have mentioned during maybe episode 1 recap was like that production finally said something to Giselle, like, "Girl, let's get you out here, let's get you doing something," right? Well, the intervention, I wonder if that really was her idea or if that was something concocted by production, because, like, she had to have known that was going to make Robin uncomfortable. She had to have known that Robin was not going to receive that well. Like, normally, the things that Robin and Giselle do, we always hear secondhand. They hardly ever record it. Why didn't they record Giselle's interaction with Juan?
That's what I was just about to say. I'm like, how come we didn't see that? But we saw this whole exchange with Chris Bassett and
Right.
and Michael Darby and what did she call Monique's husband? Big Boy?
Oh, Big Boy, I think, yeah.
Big Boy. We've seen it with I don't even know how many other boos or husbands.
Everyone.
With Ray,
Ray's to her.
Yeah.
She called him Uncle Ben. I did not forget. Leave Ray alone. That poor man. He's been through it on that show.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for that particular section, I don't know. I don't know if it was production or if it was her, because I think their friendship is genuine. If there's anything genuine in that show, is Giselle loves her some Robin. That is her bestie.
Yeah.
Like, she said in one of the episodes, well, I just had to say my piece, I'm gonna drop it. When does Giselle ever drop anything?
Right.
She dragged something the whole season, and then if we didn't hear about it enough, then it continues the next season. She just dropped this whole Robin thing. So I could see it as a necessary thing to do, plus being forced to do it because of, she got to step it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if this was meant to be a Robin-centric season, who else but Giselle to do something like this?
Yeah.
You get me? Like, and so there was just a lot of weirdness, and I feel like still we are not getting the full story from them. Still, Anyway, let me move on. So, with Candace on the outs with most of the group, her big moment in this episode came via a sit down with her mom, Dorothy. We can always appreciate a cameo from Miss Dorothy because she's one of the only people on the show who can put Candace in her place. Over a glass of wine, Candace and Miss Dorothy chatted about what was going on in Candace's life. Right now, her only focus is her deep space tour, which she spent 6 figures putting together. Candace said Chris screamed at her over the money she was spending. Then Dorothy asked Candace the golden question that we're all wondering: what is Chris working on right now? Previously, Chris was managing a restaurant, but Candace said it caused issues in their marriage because he was coming home too late. Now, she clarified that he's making his money by offering virtual cooking classes and selling his line of seasoning salts. So Candace is burning through thousands of dollars, going on a tour with less than 15 dates. Chris's only real source of income is from virtual cooking classes. That means Miss Dorothy better keep her checkbook handy. This is all from the Yahoo article. These are not our comments. He's probably going to have to bust it out soon to cover some of the Dillard Bassett overhead. So, I don't know. Like, I think we talked about also in one of the previous episode recaps that it's interesting that Candace is so hyper-focused on her career and all that, and, that's great for her. But, like, I don't know. I don't know. What do we think is going to happen with all of this?
I don't know. I don't want to say anything mean because then everybody comes at me like, oh, you're just talking the side of your neck. Well, I guess I have to. Candace, why are you spending your own money for this? Like, why haven't you done better? I mean, get the proper management. I mean, you have talent, right? I mean, but but at some point, and I'm not even saying it about her, I think she's been trying to pursue this music thing for a while now.
Yeah.
She hasn't popped off yet. Kim Zolciak's Tardy for the Party. We heard that more than any of Candace Dillard Bassett's sing. I don't know any of her songs. I know Trina was featured in one of them because we saw that, was it last season, how it ended?
Yeah, the last episode.
But she released an album to re-release the album to pay for her own tour. I mean, I'm all for follow your dreams, but girl, it's a recession. You're spending all this money? Put that MBA to good use. We're proud of you, girl.
I mean, listen, I just wonder, like, if it affects them to have so many people online kind of believe that her mother is paying for their lifestyle. Like, I don't know, like, wouldn't that affect your marriage, in some way? Like, I'm just wondering out loud here because, like, I don't know. And then we know that Miss Dorothy is not one, to keep her mouth quiet about the stuff that she's doing in your life. And so, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I feel weird when it comes to, like, that whole situation. I mean, I assume he's doing well, but then, like, if it was a problem that he was coming home too late, right, from his job, is it not a problem that she's gone touring? Like,
I think it is now. I think we saw it in an episode or two. Like, I think they made mention of it.
Preview. I think there was like something about it in a preview. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it's just weird. Like, I think in general, it's all a little bit strange to me. And they were doing so well.
Yeah. I'm just always scared when Dorothy shows up because sometimes.
Oh, yeah, she terrifies me.
Yeah, I was surprised that she was so nice because I think their relationship is volatile. for or too volatile for my liking, that I'm like, I can't even see this. This is like crazy. So I'm
She scares
surprised.
me more than my mother. And my mother used to scare me back in the day.
Your mother used to scare me back then. She still scares me now.
Girl, she's the grandma now. She don't care about nothing but her little grandbabies. She's not scaring nobody no more. Anywho, so the moment y'all all been waiting for. Karen and Ray Huger planned a pickleball day as the season's first all-cast event. Karen nobly took on the responsibility of trying to bridge the ever-growing gaps in the group. Like we mentioned in a previous episode, she's literally the glue. Quote, "We're all a mess and pickleball might bring us together," Karen explained. Everyone and their partners, where applicable, showed up for Karen's pickleball event. Even the new friend, Kierna Stewart, popped up for a split second. So, the most surprising attendee was Juan Dixon.
I was like, who? I'm like, what? I was really thinking. I was like, Giselle didn't bring her man. What was his name? I'm like, who? What, Jamal? What? I don't even know the episode. I know. I think I'm so traumatized with them like trying Jamal and Giselle. So I immediately forgot. But yeah, what did Candace call him? Or call go on.
Player from the Himalayas. Wait,
From the Himalayas.
Like,
I can't. She's funny. I like her when she's
Martin.
funny. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right. So with all the rumors and the nastiness, you'd think he'd stay hidden from the cameras as he has for I don't know how many seasons. But as Maya, not Maya, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now because I still can't believe Juan Dixon was there. But as Mia pointed out, he doesn't have a job, so what else is he going to do in the middle?
You see, she's foul. And then we get mad when Wendy tries her ass.
Don't make me cry laughing right now. Like, no. Okay. So, despite Karen's effort to create a peaceful event and unite the ladies, it didn't turn out that way at all. When Candace arrived, she didn't greet Giselle. They ignored each other. And the same thing happened with Robin. In their confessionals, they all made it clear that there's no resolution in the immediate future, and they're all harboring some resentment from season 7. Now, normally pickleball is played like tennis, singles, and doubles. The ladies of Real Housewives of Potomac played an ultra bizarre version of pickleball that was 4-on-4. It was team ish starters versus team finishers. Despite the entire episode being focused on this pickleball outing, the ladies played for approximately 10 seconds before going over and sitting down for food and drinks. That's when things got extra messy. So Karen and her former assistant Matt, I can't believe Matt is back, by the way.
No, right.
Went through the trouble of having a fully catered pickleball party with lots of pickles, beans, macaroni, and random foods that didn't seem to go together. However, before the ladies could even enjoy their food, Nneka stood 10 toes down and handling her business with Wendy. She called out Wendy over the situation with her mother's shrine, and we saw Wendy spiral into full deflection mode. Dr. Wendy replied, "I don't know you, sweetie. I've never called you. That never happened. Pull up the phone records." Wendy wanted so badly to deflect from this conversation that she randomly asked to have a private conversation with Mia, of all people, to discuss their issues. Somehow, talking to Mia sounded like a better plan than continuing to talk to Nneka. All of a sudden, Wendy wanted to make up with the person she called slow in the last episode. Nneka has been clear and consistent with her story about her connection to Wendy and her family. Wendy's reaction, coupled with her sudden hyper-focus on Catholicism, make it seem like there could be some truth in what Nneka said. Why would her cousin-in-law make up such a specific lie about Wendy and her mom? Giselle and Mia fully believe it too. On the other hand, Karen and Candace aren't buying it. As if Nneka and Wendy cussing each other out wasn't enough action for the pickleball court, Ike, Nneka's husband, decided to confront Eddie about being unfriended on Facebook. Similarly to Wendy, Eddie went into full deflection mode when confronted and claimed that he didn't know Ike. Eddie didn't look too happy. Giselle was watching from the corner and said, Eddie doesn't want that smoke. Meanwhile, when playing pickleball, Juan Dixon, who actually showed up, bumped into the fence, which caused a domino effect with Karen's gorgeous bean spread. The food dropped to the floor, the chafing kit caught the carpet on fire, and chaos ensued. Was it a demon? Has the entire Potomac cast been submitted to Wendy's mom's shrine? Only time will tell. And unfortunately for Karen, peace wasn't achieved during this outing. If anything, the group dynamic got worse. Maybe they should play dodgeball next time.
Oh, that would be great.
I can't. No, that would be horrible. Horrible.
Oh, okay. So I think in this episode, did they go shopping or something where Giselle brought up the whole, I spoke to Jamal and he says these things are real and I totally believe it?
I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't think so.
There was an episode, I don't know which one it was. I'm sorry guys, I don't remember. But I think they were shopping and then she's like, hey, I told Jamal about this whole Nneka situation, about Wendy having a shrine and all that. And Jamal was like, stay away from that, Giselle. This is real. Like, because, he's a pastor.
Right.
And Giselle wants no parts of it. She wants, So I hate the fact that, now it's like catching fire. Like this whole, Wendy. Literally. You see what I did there?
I can't do it.
This whole Wendy and voodoo and stuff. So I definitely don't like that. Those type of comments, this kind of narrative. Right. Then secondly, we don't know that Juan did that till the next episode. Like they only show us clips of like the fire on the floor. I was spooked. I'm like, I'm gonna stop watching this at this point. I was petrified. I'm like, I can't have that energy at my house. I can't deal with that. And then when I saw the next episode and they showed that Juan bumped into the fence I'm like, why did they do that? They're just really stirring the pot here with the whole narrative. Like, I hate it. I hate it for Wendy. And then Wendy looks mad suspect, trying to fix things with Mia. I'm like, girl, you guilty. I was rooting for you. You're guilty now.
Wendy, you are my fave sometimes, girl, but I can't. What am I supposed to do here? Mia, let's go talk.
I know that was the weird. I'm like, girl, you're guilty. As soon as that happened, I'm like, you're guilty. I can't believe I'm gonna give Nneka the point. Like,
she went on this rant. My mother believes in our one
Lord and Savior Jesus
Christ, and then the other one throws out during the day, but at night she submits names to the shrine.
Oh, I can't even think about it.
I was just like, what? I was very perplexed. Very perplexed. Juan Dixon showed up.
Player from the Himalayas. Oh man.
Wait, okay, hold on. Because I have a pickle. Or no, an axe to grind here. How is he so loud and so obnoxious whenever he's yelling about, I don't care what these ladies think, da, 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 da. But he sure did go up to Karen and gave her a big old hug. As if
that's because the sketch looks like Karen, I know. I'm messy. Hey, could I be in Potomac? Let me know in the comments.
And then, like, he greeted Giselle like normal. He was like friendly with the husbands. And I'm just like, sir, what?
So that's either a man that is not guilty of said things or a psychopath. that just disregards everything and he's acting mad normal. Either way, they're both scary. But you know, when Nneka and Wendy were having this argument, I was looking at the ladies sitting down and they were like literally like ping ponging. Like they
were watching Pickleball.
They were watching Pickleball and they were so quiet. I was so that's the quietest they've ever been. I think they were stomped on who was going to win what comment, and then Wendy lost because she went to talk to Mia.
I'm still very confused. And then, you know, Ashley. Same thing. I'll be rooting for you, girl. She just, you know, basically also, I think in the confessional said, like, Wendy, you guilty or something, or I believe Nneka. And it's like, dang, Wendy just asked you to be her real friend.
Well, if we really think about this, you know, superficially in the show as viewers, technically Ashley started all this crap.
She did.
She did. Again, unscathed from the drama.
Yeah, that's what she does. Drops the bomb, walks away.
Walks away, literally.
I'm
just staring at who's gonna win. And then Nneka's husband confronted Eddie like that. I'm like, Eddie's gonna get beat up right now. Like, I was scared for his life. And Eddie looked petrified.
Eddie couldn't even talk.
He was a deer in the headlights kind of thing.
Like, what? I bet he wished he had a Mia to go and patch things up with. Like,
where was Gordon?
Poor, you know what? Gordon was there, and then he wasn't. Like, I didn't see him after a while.
Didn't he say, like, the next episode, I was just there talking to my friend Gordon, talking to this. I'm like, they are both guilty at this point because he looked so perplexed, like he was caught in a lie. I'm like, boy, you unfollowed him. Just admit it. You know the guy.
You know, I don't understand it. Like,
I don't get it.
Why not just say that? Like, yeah, I'm not friends with you, so why I'm gonna be friends with you on Facebook? That's fake. You know, like why? It just, I don't know. Respect what?
It's like, why I'm gonna be friends with you if, you know, we're not friends or whatever.
Yeah,
or your wife is beefing with my wife and I can't have that. Defriend.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just stand your ground, Happy Eddie. You were scared of me.
Oh, dang. And then, like, honestly, I don't really like that Nneka came in guns blazing. Like, she just immediately goes from 0 to 1,000. It's like, yeah, give us a little bit of a warm up. Like, we're not.
Pickleball was the warm up.
The pickleball played for 2 seconds.
I mean,
Nneka showed up, y'all.
Player.
Last time he showed up for any Potomac event.
No, I bet he's happy that everybody's just looking the other direction for at least 3 seconds and not focusing on all he got going on.
But then he sure did bring all the attention right back with the demons and that fire.
We're done here. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please let us know what you think about episode 4. It's a lot. Do you guys even play pickleball? I hadn't heard of it before this episode. Let me know how to play. What do you think about this Nneka Wendy beef? I know I keep saying it, but it just keeps evolving. So maybe, you know, your guys' opinions change. Is Wendy guilty?
Crickets.
Also, guys, we want to thank you for sharing our video. Our community is growing and we're so excited. We have over 1,000 subscribers. Can you believe this? People really listen to us and our craziness. But we research, okay? Yes. So thank you guys very much. But please continue sharing our video because your friends could be our friends and we could all be friends. We also have social media, which they'll tell you about.
We're on Instagram and TikTok at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys follow us on the socials, like, share, and comment. We enjoy interacting with y'all.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.